Is there an adjustment, a move, something like that you could see the Heat make that would try and turn things around in time for tomorrow night's Game 6 at home?
Well, I think the biggest one, there's two for me. The first is I think you're going to have to start to look a little bit at the way that you're defending Jason Tatum. I thought last night, he played a great game, very poised, patient, in control because he's seeing a lot of blitzes and double teams, but I don't think necessarily that these double teams have been super effective in terms of making Jason Tatum feel a hard blitz. They're more like a soft double team when he comes off, and it allows him to be able to pick you apart a little bit with his passing.
Butler will be on Tatum. Horford is there. They swing in corner. Brown triple.
And Jason Tatum is a good passer. He's not an elite level passer that should be able to beat you with his passing. He had 11 assists last night. And if you go look at the coverage, when he comes off these ball screens, he's not really feeling a lot of physicality or forcing him to do anything different with his handle. He's sort of stringing them out a little bit, reversing the ball. And now Boston is playing 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 on the weak side, and they're getting great shots. I think maybe you go to a little bit more straight coverage on him where either you hedge and go under, meet him on the other side with the original defender, or you fight over the top and see if you can force Jason Tatum to have to put this team on his back a little bit with great shot making rather than giving him the best of both worlds, which I think some of these soft traps can do. And then also I think Jimmy Butler, his mentality early has to be more aggressive. I think it settles his team down. It gives the building energy when he gets it going early. It's easier said than done because Boston is an elite defensive team and they've got a lot of personnel to throw at him. But I think Jimmy Butler is key to have a great start offensively in Game 6 as a scorer, be a little bit more hungry.
And it's not fair to put it all on a 38-year-old that's going to be 39 next year, LeBron James. Again, it's going to come down to Anthony Davis. And I do think you could get it done with Rui. I do think you should consider re-signing Tristan Thompson. He played 10 minutes, but his 10 minutes in Game 4 were more impactful than AD minutes when he was on the floor the entire time.
Oh, wait.
So, no, it
Go ahead,
was.
whole time?
The whole time, because what I saw, they were down. When Tristan came into the game, I saw him body, take contact, change the game, finish at the basket with authority, and all of a sudden you had a tied ball game. And I actually thought Darvin Ham should have rolled with him. I'm not saying you should go out and max Tristan out. Vet minimum, bring him back. I just think that Tristan could also be a guy that pushes AD every single day at practice, and that's something that he needs.
And I can tell you, I'm not a fan of his style of play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not great, but I can't put him on to be the greatest player I ever seen or the greatest winner I ever seen, like I can do LeBron. LeBron is the greatest winner. He done got older now, and he gets criticized a lot. He's never been a shot maker. He's never been the guy that's going to take the last shot. He's never been great at that. But I said this many years ago, and I got criticized for it. When LeBron James leaves the game, he will be the greatest statistical player to ever play the game. Look at my point this day, probably 15 years later, because I said it when he was 2-3 years in the game, because he was filling up the stats every game. And so they made the comparison, who's greater, him or Michael? Like, LeBron will be the greatest statistical guy to ever play the game of basketball. And there's no comparison to him. None. So, does that make him the greatest player to ever play the game? I'll leave that out for debating, because I don't believe that there's a great player, because our game is a team game, and one player can't do it. Like, I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was. Everybody forgot who he was. He was a player that really winning wasn't at the top of his category. It was scoring. He was going after scoring titles. If I take myself out, then I'm going to put LeBron up there. Okay. So it'll be LeBron, Michael, Magic, Kareem, and Karl Malone.
So we're going to add a head. So we're going to have 5 heads.
All right.
Yeah, 5 heads.
You got to run
That's
5
fair.
out for a squad, right?
Yeah, 5 out for a squad. Yeah.
'Cause I've been living life right like I